Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. Welcome to the Sunday Superman show, which I have been looking forward to all week because I just enjoy this show so much. Tonight, I've got a couple of guests with me. I've got Comic Mike. How are you?
How are you? I'm fine. How are you, everybody?
Hello, Comic Mike.
How are you,
And I've
Steven?
got Steven Collecto6, one of the most interesting men on YouTube.
Boy, things must be slow. But anyway, yes, thank you very much.
Um, just a little bit of news before we get going with regards to Superman. If you can, go out there and buy up all those appearances of the Ultra Humanite, because apparently he's going to be in the next movie, probably in cameo only, because I can't remember, but someone else was rumored to be the main villain, but the Ultra Humanite has been mentioned as one of the people that might be in the next movie. So get your hands on some All-Star Squadrons. If you can buy Action 13, you're really rolling. And buy those Justice Leagues from the mid 80s that have the big gorilla guy, because that's the Ultra Humanite. Just my opinion. Just a quick note out there.
Is this a speculation show?
No, it's just something that, it's like when I see news about the movies and stuff. For example, Supergirl has wrapped up, and post-production is almost done, getting the movie ready for release next spring, and I'm very happy about that.
Matt's getting a cut on all the sales of those ones.
I'll tell you, him and his warehouse of Ultra Humanites. I'll tell you what, and everyone laughed at Matt. They laughed. But who's laughing now? I ask you.
Exactly.
Watch out, they might be the Canadian variants.
Oh, the Canadian.
Hey, the Canadian variants are worth quite a penny. Actually, my All-Star Squadron ones, half of them are Canadian price variants, and I literally bought them for like $2, and they're already worth like $6.
Oh, that's not bad.
I know
the All-Star Squadron, was that the one that had Rich Buckler and they had all the Justice Society people in them?
Yes. Rich Buckler ended up doing.
I bought that set cheap years ago. They're sitting in a box right over here.
Mm-hmm. That's the one where on the cover where they have pictures and they're choosing which new members to bring in.
That's right. That's issue 1. Yes.
Yeah, that's the only one that I have is issue 1.
Well, go get issues 21 to 26 and annual 2 if you can, because not only is that the Ultra Humanite appearances in the All-Star Squadron, but number 25 is actually the first appearance of Infinity Inc. So it's actually worth a couple bucks by itself already. So that's probably a good one to buy, because you've got the dual appearance of the Ultra Humanite plus the Infinity Incorporated first appearances, and that would be probably a good one to get. So before we get going completely here, let's say hello to everybody who's in the chat tonight.
I'm being abused in the chat, and we haven't even started yet by Kane Munin.
Well, first up is Jimmy Olsen says, here's a scoop. Subscribe and become a member, from the good old Robbie Josephs.
I never trusted Jimmy Olsen. I never trusted that guy. Any kid with freckles and a bow tie? No.
Well, we've got Rob Saint. Hi, Rob.
Hey,
Rob.
Kay Munin.
Oh, brother, scoff.
Andreas, how are you?
And Andreas says that he got his first Supergirl book this week, issue 20 to be precise. Very cool. We've got Chonko.
There's the usurper Chonko and his so-called nerd culture. I feel like Alan. He took the book out of my cart.
Oh, did he do that? Really?
Yeah, it was a beautiful Brazilian book. I'm halfway through the negotiation. I'm about to close the deal. Boom, it's gone. And then I turn on my computer, and here's Chonko's, and he's already posted a picture of the book.
That's kind of funny.
And I'm going, oh, this is wrong. Okay, now that concludes the Stephen grievance portion of the program. Thank you.
We've got Thomas O'Donnell, who was wonderful, and we had a wonderful time on with this week doing the Legion broadcast. It's good to see you tonight. Let's see here. We've got Mike Dennis. Hi, Mike.
Hey,
Mike.
We got Lau, who notices my T-shirt. I'm wearing Nefarious Comics, which is a local comic shop to our area.
Hi, Lau.
Hello.
We've got Bleeker. Hi, Bleak.
Hi, Bleak.
And that seems to be all that's here at the moment. So let us I'm going tonight. I decided to go with like different things because when I first put the lineup together, Mike had gotten a bunch of new Action Comics from the 70s. And I've decided that tonight I'm going to show some Bronze Age Justice Leagues where Superman is on the cover. And we Stephen, what have you brought for us tonight?
Well, I thought I would. I've showed the Supermans, so I went with a lot of the later Superman books with Turner and various and assorted.
Very nice.
I have 3 of that one with the black with the dark side. I have 3 of those. And then I have dupes of these, and I have dupes of the sketch. I just picked up that one behind the superhero clubhouse, was signed by Jeff Loeb, that Supergirl in the corner there, and which is the same one, looks just like the one that's right next to it. That Wonder Woman Superman, that one's signed by Michael Turner, right?
Very cool.
Right over that
nice.
one's signed. So I wanted to show those, and I had Supergirl up that Rad Art and Culture.
That is such a beautiful piece.
Did for me, and so I left her up for that, and then so what I decided to do is that I haven't shown for a long time. I have some Action Comics I'm going to show.
Awesome.
Good.
Jonko has a response to you here. I was talking to that guy last month about the book.
See, I don't believe any of this stuff. This is all fabrication, and this is brought on by being down in Mexico. He was at a very high elevation, and it's affected his brain. I think I'm very, very sorry.
Well, why don't we go tonight? We'll ask Mike to go first.
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
I did pick up in the last month and a half a big batch of Action Comics. I do also have Superman books coming, but unfortunately I have 2 packages that are stuck in limbo since the postal strike.
Yeah.
So I don't know when I'll get those, but at least I got my Actions first. I'm just going to show a couple of facsimiles that I just bought recently. I showed recently. The Action Comics #1.
That is very cool. That's which reprint is that? The 78 or the 83?
No, this just came out like a month ago.
That's a new one. Oh,
very recent. Yeah.
Wow, that's even cooler.
Yeah, see the $9.99.
I didn't see that part. You're too small on my screen.
Now it's almost magazine size. Stephen, is this what the Golden Age size really was back in 39 or 38?
That one's from June of 38. They were big, yes.
Okay, because they said that they made it like the original, but it's like this is actually a magazine bag and board.
If that's the case, then there was a cardboard cover that was on the outside of that.
Okay.
I believe that's the Treasury
this isn't the Treasury. This is it's not exactly magazine size, but it's slightly smaller, but it's way bigger than even my Golden Age book that I have.
This he was saying this just came out and it's got a $9.99 cover price.
Fair enough. This is something new to me.
Yeah, me too. I didn't realize that came out.
And at the same time that I bought that, I bought the Superman #1 facsimile reprint that just came out.
Yeah, that one I've seen.
This is the same size as the Action one.
Mm-hmm.
So I have several reprints of these titles. I have the Treasury editions. I have the giveaways that they had, and now I have these. But I like those. So. And before I get into the action, I have just one more different one to show. Strange Adventures number 235. Adam Strange with the Justice League story.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love this. This is a reprint from Mystery in Space number 75.
Yeah.
Because all of the Strange Adventures, I believe after 216 or something around that range, the rest of them were always reprints. Okay, so now I'm going to get into some silver action. And we got 281 from 1961.
Yeah, I have that one too. That's a fun one. That's
I love this one. To cover Kurt Swan, inks Sheldon Moldov. Now, when I bought this one, they specified that there was a slight color touch, which is like really not even noticeable. So I ended up buying this like a really, really inexpensive price. So for me, I don't mind.
Yeah, no, that's one of the ones that from the era. Like to me, it's like I'm just buying them as I see them.
Yeah. Whenever I find a good price, and I got Action 288 from 1962.
I just bought that in the last month.
Oh, really?
That is cool. That's cool.
Yeah, another Kurt Swan cover. Next, we got Action 290 from 1962.
Nice.
This one also Kurt Swan, and this one has a Kurt Swan and Kurt Schaffenberger cover. And I paid these actually relatively inexpensive. Like all these Silver Age ones that I got, okay, they're not high grade. They range from like 40, 50. I didn't pay not one of them over $20 Canadian.
Oh, that's amazing.
You stole them.
You stole them then. Yeah, exactly.
This is a really...
I paid $30 for my copy of the one we both got.
Oh, well, yeah. That one is probably a little lower grade. I don't know what your grade is, but mine
would be mid-grade.
This is a really fun cover. This is issue 295.
Nice.
Where he becomes an ant. Red Kryptonite is involved in this one. And the Juvenile Delinquents from Alpha Centauri.
Ziggy and Zaggy, or
yeah, something like that. Ziggy and Zaggy. They got the weird names.
That's actually worth quite a few bucks now because the Ziggy and Zaggy characters for some reason are just. I think people are speculating they're going to end up in a James Gunn movie or something.
Oh, but really?
That was actually picked up.
We're doing 2 rounds tonight?
We can. We'll do one for you, one for Steven, then mine, and then we'll do one more each for you guys. Okay,
because I was going to separate mine into a silver and then bronze.
Yeah, fair enough.
And here we got the 3 Faces of Superman.
Yes, I've got that one too. That's hilarious.
Yeah, this is a funny one.
What number is that?
This is number 317.
Fair enough.
This is another really nice cover. Superman versus the Legion of Super Creatures.
Yes. That one freaked me out as a kid when I looked at it because
when I saw this cover, I saw the insects, but also the blue. Like on the cover, like I don't know if you could, because I have the My Lights, it gives that glare, but the blue is just so vibrant on this cover. Yeah. It really looks nice. And I'll show one more. Oh, this one you'll like, Matt 330. You probably have it because it's got Supergirl on it. This one.
But there's that's a great one.
So it's basically more sinister than Lex Luthor, craftier than Brainiac, the diabolical Dr. Supernatural. I don't believe he ever reappeared again after this.
No, I don't remember ever seeing him again after that, but I could look that up at some point.
So he wasn't popular enough, I guess.
Thank you, Patel. No, I didn't go to Geeked Out today, Patel. It was a football day. I kind of just stayed and watched football all day.
I'll show one more Silver Age, and then I'll pass off to Steven.
Awesome.
343. I love this one with the big hand punching Superman.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
I've seen this. This is one of those that when I was younger collecting Superman comics, I remembered this cover. I couldn't afford it at the time when back in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
But now I found it and I said, okay, this one's coming home with me.
Wonderful.
So this is issue 343.
You can't argue with the go-go checks.
Yeah.
Well, you can try, but it won't do any good.
Yeah.
So I have actions as well, and your books until the last three were all around the ones that I'm going to show. And for my second round, what I will do then is I'm going to shift and I'm going to pull out some classic Justice Leagues to show, some early Justice Leagues to show for Superman, if that's all right with you, Matt.
Just so you know, the earliest Justice League I have is 107.
Well, okay, well, then I think I'm okay.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Comic Mike, do you own a Tech 31 up on your wall? I mean, is
Yes.
that a real Tech 31?
Yes, it's a real one. No, facsimile.
Okay. I saw it in a frame, and I was going to compliment you. Those are tough.
Yeah, I know. I just got it right around the same time that I got those facsimiles of the Superman. I put everything in the back in a frame. I just find it gives a nicer display.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Kay Munin said that he thought that Rad's beautiful image of Supergirl, that her hips and her legs were too beefy, and he implied that she was eating too many Twinkies. And so I always, whenever the scoffer scoffs, I have to react. I have to respond. So I have this live Supergirl over here, right there.
That's very cool, Supergirl too. But
she looks fine to me.
She looked great to me.
I liked her too, but what do we know? Okay, so here is Action Comics number 193.
Nice.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Well, that's beautiful.
What year is that from?
55, I think.
Okay.
It would be in that.
No, it's 52, I think, because there's no
there's
code.
Code. Yeah.
This book is issue number 251 that I got from Big Lyle as an AOK.
Yours is in much better shape than mine. My copy has fade outs on the buildings in the left corner, which is too bad because otherwise it'd be a decent book.
I bid on that about 2 weeks ago. I bid on that one on eBay, but I lost. It went too high. I wasn't willing to go.
I mean, Lyle sent me a beautiful book.
He did.
Now, these books, I really lucked out on getting these. A lot of these have Supergirl on the cover, early Supergirls. Here is issue number 262.
Yes. That's the one where Supergirl thinks she's immune to kryptonite because there's a creature eating it, so it's getting weaker every time she goes near one.
Oh.
And then she goes near this one with try to save Superman, find out that, oh no, I'm not immune after all. Poor girl.
Well, the red skirt looks pretty good.
Yeah, I know. They screwed that up, didn't they?
And then this one is 266. And now we have shifted back to the blue.
Oh,
the nice thing about this one is you get both Krypto and Streaky, Superman and Supergirl.
That is one of my favorite. That is one of my favorite early appearances of Supergirl. Just the fact that they play with the pets, and it almost feels like for a little bit they're having a normal family thing.
I'm not familiar with Streaky. Who is Streaky?
Streaky is the super cat. He belongs to Supergirl. He gets his powers on occasion when he plays with this toy that has a bit of radioactivity in it.
Okay, so it's not from Krypton.
It's temporary, though. His powers only last for about 24 hours.
Okay, so it's not like a new animal from Krypton.
No.
It's a beautiful book.
This is issue number 273, and it's another It's the world of Mr. Mixyez-Pitalik.
Yes, that's another fun one that I'd like to get my hands on.
Yeah. I don't know if about you guys, but for some reason, I like Action Comics more than Superman. I don't know why. I think
each have their charm. They are somewhat different.
I like Action more only because I've always been a big fan of anthology books, but Superman is fun.
But if you look at the features inside Adventure,
yes.
For example, you've got Green Arrow, you have Johnny Quick, you have Superboy, the attendant features in Adventure are superior to Action, in my opinion.
Yeah, they were. They also, if you don't mind me for just a second here, I picked this up the other day. They also had Tales of Bizarro World.
Oh,
they sure did.
Yeah. I like this one.
Isn't it Adventure Comics that introduced the Bizarro Lois, Bizarro, like all the different Bizarros first?
Well, no, Action Comics had the first Bizarro story in 254. But this was a feature where they actually did stories from the Bizarro world for about a year.
Okay. Yeah, and it was a nice feature because the Bizarros took off and the readers responded very positively to them.
Yeah.
And if you have something like that instead of Carrie Drake, TV Detective, or Con Gorilla, you got to say the Bizarros are going to be a lot more fun.
Yes, they are.
I would agree with that. There were a lot of people angry. If you read the letter columns and about issues 302, 303, people were angry that the Legion replaced them.
Yeah, and frankly, I think I read those as well. And my feeling on that was, well, the Legion of Superheroes is so far superior to Bizarro World. I mean, there is no comparison. Truly, there isn't. So if you have the Legion and Adventure, those are pretty much all book length stories, are they not?
They become book length about issue 340-ish.
Oh, so then from 300 up, what are the backup features then?
Okay. Superboy was the backup feature. From 300 to 315, they were still new stories. Mm-hmm. After 315 until
reprints.
They reprinted. They gave
Golden
us
Age.
Classic Tales.
Yeah.
That's what they
Classic Tales of Superboy. And you know what? The artwork was different, and I love that because it was something different.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked the older feel to it, and I liked the plots were different. The mindset and culture of those stories was so different than
it felt like the fact that it took place 20 years before the 50, basically in the 30s, right? So
right.
The fact that the stories took place in the 30s gave them a rustic charm that most
40s, I think. Superboy didn't come out until the 40s, did he?
Yeah, I know, but they were always trying to give it the basically it was 10 to 15 years before whatever current day was, so that Superman, because he was younger, right?
Right. In other words, they cobbled Superboy to fit the time frame in which Superman would have been growing up, right? The Model Ts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is a really great one. I was so lucky to get this.
Yes, that's another one I like. It's just, Streaky versus, and if I remember correctly in that story, wasn't there a point where, Krypto was hit by kryptonite and only Streaky could save him because he's the only one that's not affected by kryptonite?
They wrote these stories and they did stuff like that, and it was sort of like sometimes I'd have to shake my head and I said, can't we just let Krypto have a win? Is he always going to have? I mean, I think that I always thought that the writers were cat lovers. That's the only thing I could figure out.
Because dogs losing to cats is not exactly
that's not really the way they work.
I know.
This is issue number 277, and this was from a collection called the Date Mark collection. If you'll see that date mark up there, there was a guy that bought a whole bunch of these and took very, very good care of his books.
Oh, and
Here,
it says still 10 cents. That's right around the time when when it was doing its conversion to 12, right?
that is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this one is $2.77, and this one is $2.83, and it has the early 12-cent mark.
Right,
so this is right around the time it changed to 12-cent.
Yeah, I have that one too. That red kryptonite thing is such a weird looking statue, but it's a lot of the story's pretty interesting.
The new that one Alex Ross cover of Krypto, all alone on the cover with the Daily Planet behind him. You know the one I mean?
Yes, Superman 680.
That book, Krypto, Superman is in trouble, and Krypto, and it was because of Atlas, and it was they borrowed the Atlas from first issue special.
Yeah.
And so they borrowed that Kirby design character. And so Superman was having trouble because Atlas had all this whiz-bang stuff, these rays and stuff. And Krypto was unaffected by it. And Krypto just went right through it. And Krypto is biting this guy with his super jaws on his hip and stuff. He's screaming and stuff. Krypto kicked Atlas's butt. It was one of hi Sue.
Hi Sue.
It was one of the most cathartic, wonderful things watching Krypto win, and then Superman at the end, and everyone's cheering Superman because Atlas was defeated, and he said, no, not this time. This time it's Krypto, and Krypto is there wagging his tail, and everyone is cheering Krypto. Yeah. I love that book. I love that book.
Yeah. My favorite Krypto moment, so to speak, where, he just showed how great he was from that story in that last story there, the man, whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, where he goes up against the Kryptonite man. He's dying, whatever, but in order to save his master, he literally goes and rips his throat out and kills the Kryptonite man, even though it kills him, just because of the devotion he has to Clark.
Well, how did Krypto come back then?
He didn't. This was the story that was like, it's imaginary? Like what happened. It was an imaginary tale. Like, okay, did the Silver Age, Bronze Age Superman end?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Krypto is a man's best friend, and I've always loved Krypto. I really did. This one was there was a collection found in a farm in one of these outlying communities about 35 miles from Portland south. It's called Malala. And there was a guy that some people had a farm there and a barn, very nice, very nicely well-kept farm. And this barn had some toys and stuff from the grandchildren and the children. Well, this guy went out to see what they had, and the kids had gone to Disneyland the first year it opened, and they bought all these toys. The grandparents and the parents bought them all these toys. The kids kept all the original packaging and everything for the toys, and they were in a state of perfect preservation sitting in this barn. And nice. This guy was a Disney toy seller. And he took one look at all this stuff, plus all the other stuff was kept in beautiful, beautiful condition. And he says, I'll take everything. And so there were toys and a bunch of Disney memorabilia and I think there were a few antiques or something, all of which this seller knew, except there was a stack of books, and he didn't know comics at all. So he went to some of the stores in town here in Portland, and this would have been in 89, I think, 88, 89. And he was 90, I think. And so he went to these LCSs, and they offered him like $100 for all of them and stuff. And he says, well, that seems pretty good. Well, I want to shop a little further. Well, my guy at my LCS took one look at that, and one of the books in there was Adventure Comics 300 in a high VF. Nice. He says that book alone is at that time was $165. That book alone is $165. Yeah. And there were a lot of Tom Corbett's and Flash Gordon's. there was about a handful of DC books, and they were all beautiful, white pagers, high color, everything. So my guy, he says, well, if you want to go further, I said, I just wanted to show you the prices. And at that point, the price guide still was functional. It was still, the pace of our pricing had not, with the internet and all that, it had not gone that fast. It was basically the price guide actually was valid and was useful in regard to pricing. Now the guide is a good resource, but for pricing, it's not so much. And that's just a fact. So, but what happened was this. So the guy made the deal with him, and then he left. And about 15 minutes, as my buddy is starting putting all the stuff together, I walk in. And he says, look what I got. And I said, how much for all of it? And he goes, oh, damn. And he figured it out, and I bought it all. Uh-huh. This is one of the books that was in that bunch, and it is Action 292. Supergirl meets the superheroes.
Yes.
That's a beautiful one.
That's a beaut, and that's the one where Supergirl, that's only the third appearance of the Legion, I think. Oh, maybe not. That's further down. Yeah, that's further down. That's probably his seventh or eighth appearance.
This one, the robots on this one, I remember this book when I was a kid, and I always said I liked the kind of the radiator face, light bulb ear robots. I loved it.
But they do look cool. It's very 60s.
Yes. The sci-fi back then was fun because what they used to look futuristic and what would be seen as futuristic today.
Oh, it was future.
I know.
In 62, in 63, oh, baby, that was the future.
Well, I love coming across books now, like, for example, Superman 300, where it's Superman 2001, and there's flying cars everywhere.
Yeah, and everybody's out in space and waving and stuff like that. You're right, you know.
Wasn't that issue 300 or no?
Yes, that's what I said, 300. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's right. I have that one there. Yeah. But I picked up a bunch of Strange Adventures recently, just because I love the sci-fi covers, the monsters, the robots. It looks so good, and this was like mid 60s.
Well, Tales of the Unexpected has some fun stuff with Space Ranger too.
Yes.
Now the thing was that Jack Schiff and Carmen Infantino and Gardner Fox, they went before, I think it was Wessinger, and he said, okay, Schiff, you two guys, I want one of you to have a futuristic character. This was after Showcase 4 came out. Mm-hmm. And so he wanted to have some more characters to bring in that were new, that they were science fiction based superheroes. And that was the whole thrust when he came in. I mean, that was what was happening. And so Schiff got first pick, and he says, oh, I'll take the future one. And that turned into Space Ranger in Tales of the Unexpected. The other guy said, okay, then you have to have one that's Earthbound. Okay. Well, he came up with a character called Adam Strange, and he's an archaeologist. He's on Earth, but he gets hit by the Zeta beam.
Yeah.
And he's transported to the future in Ron. So he got right around that, and Bob Brown did a lot of the art for Space Ranger, very workmanlike, and Bob Brown was a war hero of World War II. He was a real hero. But the other stories with for Mystery in Space had Infantino's art, and Adam Strange and Infantino was so good that those Adam Strange resonated so much more than Space Ranger. And so I have some Space Rangers too, because they are of my youth, and there are some really amazing science fiction stories. But the lead the head guy is just not as good as Adam Strange. It's the whole thing, and even in the day, I didn't collect Space Ranger unless one kind of fell into my lap. I collected Mystery in Space, and I love Mystery in Space. I have a whole set. From 53 on up or whatever. So
we have a question here, Stephen, Thoughts on CGC and PSA grading autographs now as an additional metric to distinguish books. For example, a 6.0 Stanley Sig ASM 1 in 4 versus a 10.
Versus a 10 what?
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about.
I don't know what a 10 is. There is no such thing as any Silver Age book that's a 10. There is no such thing. I need a little more clarification, but as a metric, a book that is signed, I just bought a book here at auction yesterday. I bought the Green Lantern, Green Arrow cover that has the guy being crucified by the jet. That was the controversial Neil Adams cover.
Yeah, that's the Jesus character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And on the wing of the aircraft, it's signed Neil Adams. Well, a regular copy of that book is X dollars, but with the signature and the fact there ain't no more signatures, that is a considerably more valuable book because Neil signed it and it was his work. A 10.0 signature grade. I'll be very honest with you, Patel. I don't know what a 10.0 signature grade is. I'm unfamiliar with that. That's new to me. This one, I remember when this came out. My favorite characters were the Legion of Superheroes, as you know.
Yes.
And then I graduated to The Flash, and The Flash became my favorite Silver Age title, right with Adventure, my sentimental favorite of all time, because it's so wonderful. But The Flash was a little bit more adult than Adventure with the Legion. And I liked Barry Allen as a thinking man. I liked the fact that he used his head. It wasn't like Marvel always is. He has a berserker rage and then he fights. Barry Allen way, I have to this, that, or another thing like that. There's more thought into it. That he was more a person with superheroes, with superpowers, or a superpowered villain who also, or person who also happens to be.
Now I get what he's saying. He's saying you can resubmit a gold labeled book and then we'll add the signature to the grade. Like whatever the grade of the signature is will enhance
the grade of
your
the
book.
signature. So if the signature is,
yes.
they're grading the signatures for how good the signatures are?
I would think that they're based like things like placement and how easy it is to see the signature. I would think that would be
they're grading like that now.
Apparently,
if that's actually a thing, I don't have to signature on it. Now the Neil Adams would sign the wing on several of them. Okay, I don't like that. I'm not in favor of that because because these guys would be signing these books at conventions and things like that, and the artist would put the one difference on that. When I had Neil Adams sign all the Neil Adams books nice ones that I had to have him sign, he asked me on each book where to sign them, and I said, "Where do you like it?" He says, "I usually sign it here. Would you like it here?" And so every single Neil Adams signature I have on my Neil books, I got a dozen or 18 or 19 of them.
Yeah, I did the same. I have 7 books that I had him sign personally, and he was like, "Do you have anywhere you want to sign?" 4 of them I said, "Go ahead." 3 of them I.
Fair enough. So if that is a thing, I really don't care for that. I don't do much for me. If you're lucky enough to like Stan Lee signatures, how many Stan Lee signatures screw up the cover? I mean, he's famous for it.
Yeah.
Seriously, he's.
So is Chris Claremont. Chris Claremont just when he signed, when the one I got, he put it in a place where you can't see half the signature unless you know where to look.
See, I understand that, but that's the way the artist signed it. I don't think that they should quantify that as a benefit. I don't care for that. That's too much. It doesn't matter what I think, but that's my opinion. So this is issue 314, and because the Flash was my favorite, I like this because Superman swapped powers with Flash.
Yeah, that's one of the that's one of the 6 I need to complete the 300. That's a hard one to find.
His boots are yellow, and he has part of the Flash costume.
I know
that Nate would like this body transformation sort of stuff.
That was one of recent Alan's top 10 challenges, body transformation. That would have been a good book for that.
Yeah.
This one is issue number 316. Another beautiful. I love the color, the color combination for this.
Yeah. And giving her the impossible choice.
Yeah. That's like a nice mustard color, like, not the typical yellow cover of Superman.
And then the trade dress is sort of a black and yellow.
And it makes the green pop out more.
Precisely. They were very good at this.
What I liked about comic book covers in DC from the Silver Age in general, when they're monochrome like this, they started using more they were using less primary colors and more softer colors and mixed colors like this. And I thought it was great. Like they're using purples, greens, and oranges instead of just yellow, blue, and red.
You bet. And of course, you showed this one.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
No, you're first. See, this one is another. If you look at the color strike on this one, it's truly amazing.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. It's just a gorgeous book. I wish mine was in better shape.
And you showed this one too. Now,
that one looks better than mine. That's better condition than mine.
This book, in-house ads in the day, they in-house ad the hell out of this because they like the fact this yellow bird or whatever, I can't remember what it was, the execution buzzard. Boy, the marketing boys had to work a long time to figure that one out. The execution buzzard. We call him Sam. What the hell? But more sinister than Luthor, craftier than Brainiac, the diabolical Dr. Supernatural who did not go anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't go anywhere. He doesn't have any legs.
Yeah, that is a problem. Here is issue number 309, the Superman Super Spectacular. Who is the mystery masquerader?
Oh, I love that.
Is that where he meets JFK, right?
Yes, that was what JFK was. Robbie has a question for you, Stephen. Were you more of an action guy or an adventure guy?
Adventure. Adventure number one, adventure comics because of the Legion. But Superman came in, Action and Superman were in my original collection, quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them were not in as nice a shape because when I started rebuilding in 88, it was, I always would go by grade because when I did my completest collection that was extensive, about 70 long boxes, from 1965 all the way up to 1988, I collected. And all of that went away.
Well, when you think of the Silver Age, Superman was in 7 different books on a regular basis.
You couldn't avoid it. But I had the JLA, I did not go out and seek action. I did go out and seek JLA. I did go out and seek adventure. I did go out and seek Flash, and some of the lessers, Doom Patrol, Metal Men, those two I really love. Those Aquaman, love that. Hawkman, Atom, Mystery in Space, and I have a smattering of Strange Adventures, House of Mystery, and House of Secrets as well. I liked Eclipso too.
Yeah, I got my first Eclipso book not too long ago. From the House of Secrets.
The first
here is issue number 326, and this was one that they advertised the hell out of this one on the in-house ads as well.
Yes, I remember that. Hands of Doom.
What's he holding up there, or his hands are being?
No. His hands are nuclear.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of.
He says The spy monitor shows our plot worked. We managed to secretly coat Superman's... Now listen to this. These two clowns can secretly coat Superman's hands with anything? I mean, they can sneak up on Superman and do that?
Oh my God.
I mean, the writer had to really dust it off to figure this one out. And then it says, with chemicals that made him a living doomsday bomb. When he clapped his hands to applaud the Superman Day parade, he detonated a blast that wiped out Metropolis. Oh, we're so happy. You know what? I don't think it's true. I think he fooled him somehow.
Awesome.
I think Superman tumbled to it, and then he fabricated this diorama, and then when they relaxed their guard, and then Superman found them and threw them in the clink. We'll get them next time. No, you won't.
Okay,
Curse you, Superman. Curse you.
We'll go to me now, just so that we can keep a flow going, and I can get you guys back to your second round. So,
all right, fair enough.
Mine's actually quick. I decided to pull out a bunch of Justice Leagues with Superman on the cover, with the exception of one, but I pulled it because Supergirl is on the cover. So, still a super person. I'm starting with Justice League of America 107, which not only has a Superman front and center, but is the first appearance of the Freedom Fighters as a team.
Oh, yes, I know that one.
You know, followed up by number 108 here, which is the second part of the story. And again, Superman is front and center against Uncle Sam.
And who are those characters on the against?
Well, you've got the Ray. You got the Ray, the human bomb, Uncle Sam, Doll Man, Black Condor on the cover, and Phantom Lady was the sixth character that was.
And what company did those characters come from?
They were all Quality, I believe, or Fox, depending on when they got them. But I think
you're exactly correct. And the interesting thing they always said was that Superman had the best characters and the lesser artists, and Quality Comics had lousy characters but outstanding artists.
They really did. This is number 117. Again, Superman. You know something? The chairmanship of the JLA in this period rotated. Like it was so-and-so's turn for a month and then so-and-so's turn for a month or whatever. But it always seemed like Superman and or Batman were in charge.
The fix was in.
Here's number 118. Aquaman in a wheelchair. And 119, where it says the winner takes the earth. This is the one cover I was talking about. This is 132, where it's Supergirl here on
She's
the cover.
An elephant? Okay, go ahead.
It's Supergirl on the cover instead of Superman. She came because Superman was off in the universe doing something else, and so she's like his backup when.
So they're fighting. So they're fighting jungle animals. Is that what you're telling me?
Super jungle animals, because if you'll note, they all have weapons.
Oh, okay, of course they have to be.
Is Grodd behind that or what?
I don't remember. I would have to reread it.
The gorilla
it just says the beasts who fought like men. I don't think it's Grodd.
The gorilla is carrying an MP-38. That's a German submachine gun from World War II.
Maybe it was a former Nazi. Let's see here. Here's is it not Eclipse? Oh, who's the guy with the eye?
Despero.
Despero, yes. Okay, this is Despero. This is 133, and Supergirl is in it as well as Superman.
Nice.
Like I started with the Justice League books. The preponderance of the Supergirl appearances was because I was only buying the Supergirl appearances at first. That was my first thing. Here's number 134, where she's on the cover again.
Whose hand is that?
Some creature that
it's got a big hand.
Yes, it was a creature that Despero had brought into the fight. And here is 135, which I think is cool because not only do you have like the Superman, you've got the Justice Society on this side and the Shazam people on this side. Bullet Girl, Bullet Man, Ibis the Invincible, Mr. Scarlet, and Pinky, and Spy Smash.
Oh, the Fawcett crew.
Those are the Fawcett characters, yeah.
I thought that was this is a pretty neat team up. I like the fact that the Justice League always was teaming up with other people, whether it was
they were all in the story. All of them were in the story.
All of them were in the story because they went to yet another Earth, which was Earth Fawcett.
Okay.
You know, they did. You know, like the trope is becoming like, you know, either the Justice League is going to Earth 2 or the Society is going to Earth 1, and the trope was, you know, oh no, something happened and we all ended up here. And here we go. Okay, Lyle says that it's my hand. Hi, Lyle. I was holding up the comic. That cover, I guess. This is a cool one. This is Justice League 153. Superman, as usual, is getting the crap kicked out of him by somebody. The interesting thing about this book is it's one of the only books in 12 years that Dick Dillon didn't do as artist. Dick Dillon did the vast majority of Justice League books until he passed on. So he didn't do a lot of the covers, but he did the internal art. Here's Justice League 157. Another Supergirl cover.
Nice.
Let's see. World at War Comics is with us. Archivist Adrift has arrived. Lyle has arrived, and Mr. O'Donnell. And very good. Just wanted to say hi.
Oh, I would have caught that. I'm on my last book here. This is a cool cover where Superman is holding back Zatanna. This is 164 when Wonder Woman has just rejoined the team after her stint as the mod girl.
Look at the way he's pushing up against her.
I know.
Where are you, Lois?
Why are his trunks torn at the leg line?
They're not. That's just the drawing. That's just the shading.
Okay.
And those are the books that I brought. So let's go. Let's double check here. And okay, there's nobody else new here. Dark Matt growing a beard. Yes, Matt's growing a beard because he didn't feel like shaving this week. But then I saw how gray it is underneath, and I may have to shave after all. Thank you very much, World at War Comics. All right, here we go. Mike, you're up.
All right, so we're going to go into some Bronze Age. This is issue 397 from 1971.
Nice.
This is a Carmine Infantino cover.
And 397, I believe, was when Action Comics started being Superman only for a little while. Because the Legion left, I think, in 396.
It's possible because I don't think there's a backup story in this one.
They went there for about a year. They went to just Superman full stories.
When I first saw this cover, I thought it was a Neil Adams cover, but it turned out to be a Carmine Infantino cover. Next, this one quickly became one of my favorite covers of the Bronze Age. I showed it on one of my videos. It also appeared in one of Alan's top 10 challenges for floating head covers. Issue 406.
Yes, I love that book. That story there, the one that's on the cover, I first read it in one of those DC Blue Ribbon Digest collections of Superman books. So when I actually got my copy of that book, I was really excited because I really liked the story in it.
And then we got this is a 52 page issue number 408. Back to Kurt Swan cover.
Yeah.
Superman, help! Superman, help! Help us, Superman! I can't. I won't.
But I won't.
Yes.
There were certain covers that I always wanted that I didn't have in my original collection. Okay. I'm just going to get it right here. Captain Strong, issue 421, the Popeye ripoff.
Yes, and that's his first appearance.
Yeah. Did he make any other appearances after this?
Yeah, he's made a few actually until Crisis. After Crisis, they rebuilt him into that Bebo Babowski character.
I'm surprised they didn't get sued because, I mean, he really looks like Popeye.
Well, I think that's why they sort of changed it afterwards. They didn't use him very much, but at the same time, certain aspects of Popeye hit public domain in the 1980s. So
okay, maybe, yeah. But see, and he gained his powers from eating seaweed grown from alien spores.
Yes.
Instead of spinach.
Well, that's what spinach is, isn't it?
Well,
it is to me.
But this is a nice Nick Cardy cover. I like Nick Cardy. He makes some pretty nice covers in Superman.
He's a very, very good artist.
Nick Cardy is so underrated. He's one of those artists, as I call the Me Too artists, is like, or the oh yeah artists, because like people start naming artists and then, well, what about Nick Cardy? Oh yeah, he's good. You know.
This is another one that I always saw the cover. I never owned it, but now I own it. Another Nick Cardy cover.
Yes, Too Big to Live.
Who's the clown with the big arm?
I don't know. He's meet an explosive new foe for Superman. He got a very hairy arm there, so I haven't read this one yet.
It's been a long time since I read that one. My memory is good, but it's not perfect. So
now this is
you're
another
damn
one
close.
Another Nick Cardy cover.
Yeah,
I love the way Lois looks in this cover. Very 70s hippie style.
Yeah, I love the fact that one is also a tribute. A homage cover to the Flash 123.
Okay, yes. Now, normally, I'm not into headstrong ballbuster women, but if they look like that, they'll probably,
Bust away.
Bust away. Listen, I married a very strong woman. They don't scare me.
Yeah, me too. And another one, I think you showed this recently on your channel, Matt, the Jaws homage.
Yes, I did. That came out around the same month, I think, that the movie, or a month after the movie came out. So they homaged it.
This was this obviously, Mike Grell cover. I didn't know Mike Grell did some Superman.
Well, what happens is it's all over the place. Someone can't make a deadline. Someone else has some time.
I first knew of Mike Grell when I was collecting comics in 1987 with the Green Arrow series.
Yes,
the one that was for mature audiences.
Yes, Seattle.
Yeah, and I started to pick that one up, and I found that I probably had bought maybe the first 5 or 6 issues, and I really liked that run. And also, I think that was they changed the paper to a higher quality of a paper. And
yes,
Baxter paper. Because
the Baxter paper, Green Arrow, like that type of book, doesn't have any newsprint. Newsstand versions because they were only available in the comic stores.
Okay.
Because of the mature readers print.
And this is another Neil Adams cover, one of my favorites. I guess you call this one the child abuse cover.
Yes, that's the one where he makes him younger so that he can beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
Yeah. I don't think you could pull something off like this today on a cover.
No, those are the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days of when you could hit your kid. And I'll end it off with a book everybody's been showing lately. 544, the anniversary edition. I've seen a lot of people show this recently.
Well, it's becoming a bigger book. Something 3 years ago, that book was barely worth $5.
Yeah, I know. And all of a sudden, everybody's showing
$25 because people are getting a new appreciation for the book. I think because there's a bit of speculation because of Brainiac.
Could it be because of the Luther suit with the connection with the movie?
Well, Luther's suit was actually used on the Superman and Lois TV show.
Okay.
So they had something similar to that. So that's probably when it started going a little bit. But the speculation with Brainiac and stuff being in the next set of movies is driving that book right now.
But I hope that if they do Brainiac, he's not going to look like the robot or whatever he is there, cyborg. Yeah. I prefer if he looked like the way he looked in the 60s.
Well, I agree, because what they've done recently, the last few years, is that Brainiac's ship looks like that, but Brainiac looks like old Brainiac, the one that we're used to.
Okay, that would be good for me.
All right, let's bring it on home with Steven.
It's good to be home. Well, I'm going to stick with Silver then, because I thought you might dovetail. I've got ones I haven't shown. Here is issue 339. Go check.
I love go checks.
That's another one. That's a nice one.
Girl in the kryptonite cage. I just want to go hug her and tell her everything's going to be okay.
But what's Superman caught?
Get her out of the cage first, then tell her it's okay.
Is Superman caught in a whirlpool?
Yes, it has to be true. It's on the cover. Here is the Parasite.
It was a great book. That is one of my favorite books of all time. To me, that is not only one of my favorite books of all time, but it's one of my favorite Kurt Swan books of all time.
I just picked up the second appearance of the Parasite.
Yeah, with the Neil Adams cover, right?
Yes, with the Neil Adams cover.
Here is 341. The Battle of the Alter Egos.
Really? I thought it was bowling balls.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Cannonballs.
Cannonballs.
See, you see the cannon behind?
Okay, yes.
This is the perfect clue.
At first, I thought those were bowling balls also until I got it. Yeah. And then I saw the cover, and then I saw they were cannonballs.
I guess that book is canon then.
Yeah. It stayed in canon.
Have you been around Lyle too long?
Lyle says he gets his comedic skills from me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Here we go. Here's issue 342. Another go check. Earth is doomed. It never happens that Earth is doomed, but it is doomed.
Mm-hmm.
Try to remove the bomb and poof.
Steven, is it true? I heard that the reason why they did the go check was because when it was on the racks, it would stand out.
Yes.
Okay. So there was true that. Okay.
66 and 67, they wanted to do something to differentiate themselves on the stands from Marvel, because they were the big competitors, and they wanted to make the go checks was because everything was go like the go girls, go dancers, and all this other stuff, and so these fossil guys at DC said, let's have go checks.
Yes, the guys who thought that they knew teenagers with the really bad teenage slang and the Teen Titans.
Oh boy. Okay, so
Daddy-o.
This one, you showed this one, I think.
Yes,
Mike.
Yes.
This one has an interesting date stamp. Someone actually had a stamp September 29th for the November book. You see?
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. At least they put it in a nice place where it wasn't covering.
Yeah.
Robbie, in my dreams, there have been several imaginary stories where I marry Supergirl.
I'm sure that Mrs. Matt certainly appreciates that too.
Mrs. Matt doesn't. Mrs. Matt thinks it's a little creepy that I like Supergirl so much.
A little?
Okay, a lot.
Here is issue 353, where we have the Battle of the Gods.
Atlas and
Zavam,
yeah. That's right. Zavam had the magic belt that gave him different powers based on where he.
And this really looks like Wayne Boring to me.
It is. Judging by the cover, it definitely is Wayne Boring.
You look at the faces, and there's no question that it's. I like Wayne Boring. I liked him in the 50s. I really did. I do.
Wayne Boring got so screwed over.
They all did. Every artist that. They all were screwed over. Not one of them.
All of them were almost all of the ones that we know, like Boring and Gardner Fox, were all let go before their pensions could vest.
I think that it was absolutely the wrong thing. And Neil Adams stood up for Siegel and Schuster. He
Yeah,
fought
and
really hard.
Neil Adams stood up for a lot of them. That's why Kurt Swan managed to stick around.
Neil Adams was a mensch. He really was. All of the power he had, his notoriety and his popularity, he used to try to help his brother writers and artists.
Yeah.
I honor him for that. I really do.
Mort Weisinger had to go. He was the problem. He was the biggest problem.
He was a no good Nick.
Yeah.
Here is issue 356. The son of the Annihilator, the kid with the super fists, who's with the skulls.
Yes.
Here, look at the purple and green trade dress. Isn't that lush?
That looks so cool. Purple and green actually really go well together.
They do. Only DC does this stuff. Yeah. Only DC.
He looks like Captain Action.
Here's the Kryptonite Superman against the toughest kids in the world. I thought it was the Yancey Street Gang in the Kryptonite Rumble. Hey, Daddy-O, the skulls have got... Everybody, get your kryptonite. We got plenty. Bring it over here.
Getting ready for the Rumble tonight.
Kryptonite is so common on Earth.
It's as plentiful as the writers need it to be.
Yes.
The train car full of softball-sized kryptonite landed outside Metropolis today. Hey, gang, let's go get some. I have 3 more books.
Awesome.
Here is 358, which I think is a Neil Adams. It's featuring Superman, guilty of homicide. He's dead, yes. Superman. You killed him with your bare fists.
Yes, and that is such a beautiful cover. This was when I was reading my uncle's collection. This is when I realized that the art was changing.
He is very distinctive from everybody else.
I didn't clue in that it meant different eras because I wasn't really reading the years and the dates on them at the time because I was 5'6". But I knew that this was the artist of this time and this was the artist of the, I could sort of start. This would I could start telling the differences between artists.
I remember that when they with Hawkman and they shifted to Dick Dillon. Yeah. I went, no. Or with Kaluta doing the shadow and it turned into Mike Robbins. Forget it. Now, Mike Robbins on the Invaders and stuff like that was good because it has a real Golden Age feel. His art has a very Golden Age feel. But his shadow,
Yeah, no.
After Kaluta, no bueno.
No. I would agree there.
And this I have 2 more. Here is issue 359. And Neil has him in the chair and the kid's fingering him. That's him. He's the man who killed my daddy.
Yes. That was the first actual cover that I saw that I knew was Neil Adams when I was older and could start recognizing the art. Because the problem I found, they didn't always identify who did the covers back then.
No.
You could get an idea who did some of the art on the interior because they named the interior artist, but they didn't name the cover artist much back then.
But there is a definite look.
Yeah.
He made the bodies more proportional. Like in the earlier 60s, the upper body was more buffed out.
Well, it was like he would come in like this and then he'd come down. I mean, he just looked like a giant halibut.
Yeah, but then
I like the thinner Superman. I really do.
So do I.
And here is the last one I'll show. This is a bigger book. Here is my Action Comics number 242.
There we go.
Oh, what a beaut.
Brainiac.
That purple cover right there. Perfect.
Yeah.
Pink and green. I mean, come on. That's awesome.
And that's the Brainiac I like.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, those were great.
Especially the last one.
Yes. I want to say thank you very much to my guests tonight for coming and showing the books they did. I really appreciate it because I love seeing books. Even if I already have them, I like seeing what other people have and what they think of them. And, This show, of course, is dedicated to my love of the super family, specifically Supergirl and Superman. So I am very happy to have this show and have a chance. Because if there's one thing I did notice before I did this show, there are not a lot of dedicated Superman. You get the odd Superman video, but there's no real dedicated Superman stuff. I've seen a Batman one. I've seen Justice League. I've even seen Legion, but I did not see Superman, so I decided to come here. Yes, the ray gun.
Oh, that's the one you showed on the Friday hangout last week?
I think
Yes.
so.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing that.
This-
That's really
it's
cool.
cool that
19. What?
Go ahead. I just think it's cool that they made all this stuff for Superman. Don't pull it out.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Don't want to
It has
damage
the
that
original.
box
It
either.
has the original battery that goes into the. It's a
Nice.
projector. It's not a. It's a film strip projector. Is all it
Yeah.
is. But anyway, I think that the graphics are just absolutely for. And
Yes,
one other
good.
thing. One other thing. While I got you, just because I have it right here. These are early Superman puzzles that were merchandise from for Superman, and
Oh,
they
nice.
basically there are 4 puzzles inside, and they're like virgin variants of some of the early Superman books.
Yeah, they are awesome.
Wow.
That particular puzzle is one of my favorites of the covers that you've shown from the puzzles.
That one's from the 40s.
Yeah, like 40,
And just
like 30,
finding
39,
that,
like 39, 40, 1940. These are early action comics.
just finding
I-
that is, I mean,
Like, that's amazing.
and those look in great shape.
And that's the Luther cover, right? 23, I believe.
It's these were in a library, and a guy that the libraries every so often would have a sale. These were at the rent at the desk where they had to be checked out and they had to be checked back in. Unbelievably, every puzzle is complete and in perfect condition, and the boxes are still intact. And a buddy of mine who is a dealer guy found those, and I made it my mission to get them because Superman stuff like that is amazing. And sometime, maybe next time, Matt, I'll bring out all of my Superman of America kit and
That would
show
be
all
great.
of the membership and the diplomas and the pin and all the other good stuff that comes with the Superman Club.
Yeah. Bjorn sent me some of that stuff, the Superman of America stuff. I've got some of it too. It's pretty cool. Lau, thank you very much for the question. And the question for me is Gleek. Gleek is much more fun than Beppo. Beppo was just a flying monkey. Gleek actually was an interesting character.
Who's Gleek again?
From the Wonder
Twins,
Twins on the from the Wonder Twins on the Super Friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was the comic relief for the.
Yes. And that's kind of why I do like that. Beppo was just around when he was needed. Like, here comes
Like Gleek wasn't?
Yes, but Gleek did. Gleek was interesting in its own right.
Well, but
Okay.
Greek did appear pretty much in all the because I remember the when they used to do the Super Friends, they would also do a short cartoon with just the Wonder Twins, and
That's
Greek
right.
was there the whole time, so he
right.
was a part.
Yes, it was cool. Guys, thank you very much for coming tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I really appreciate everybody who showed up tonight, and for those that are going to watch this on the repeat, thank you very much for taking the time to join us tonight. I had a blast, and I hope everybody else did. We are in the last week of the voting for the CBC Awards, and Mike is up for most informative in the 0 to 499 category.
That's
And
right.
I am up in the most informative for 500 to 999. And of course, Steven is one of the guys up for the Monday special, even though it's under Alan Collector Comic Collector Geek's name. Please consider voting for us. I really appreciate that because if you haven't voted already, you've only got a few days left. And as of the airing of this episode, you have less than a week because it stops the Saturday after.
It's the 11th.
Yeah, the 11th. So that's next Saturday at midnight. So my guest on Tuesday will be JSS Brooklyn, who promises me it's going to be a heck of a show, that he's got some really cool stuff that people have not seen before. And I am looking forward to that. And I'm hoping that he will join us and we'll all have a blast. Thank you, everybody, for coming. My name is Matt. I like comics.
Good night, everybody.
Superman.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.